Join the monthly prayer meeting. If you weren't able, please avail yourself of the prayer points by going on my timeline or the group page to go over the prayer points. God has spoken positive things concerning the month of March, and we are assured that He has gone ahead of us. So tonight, I just want to share quickly with us some of the things that we spoke about at our last couples clinic. Couples clinic was on February 22nd, and it was a beautiful, beautiful evening. And the theme for this year is seasons. Seasons. And nothing speaks to me as much as seasons. I find it very, very interesting, whether it is a winter, whether it is spring, summer, or fall. Every season speaks to me. And I happen to live in an environment where we have four seasons. And so when I was preparing for the message to share, usually our couples clinic is an opportunity to come, is word of inspiration. We had special guests this year. However, the Lord always gives us a word with which we prepare the minds of couples to relate one with another. And I want to start with winter. Winter, and this is a perfect time to start with winter because we're experiencing winter. Winter is such an interesting weather. It has many flavors. There are so many flavors to winter. There is snow, there is rain, and when snow mixes with rain, it's called freezing rain. Today, it's been a beautiful day. It's been blowing snow. And so if you didn't really have any business, you just want to stay in one place because it's been quite windy. And it's not just blowing wind, it's blowing snow. So it's blowing snow everywhere, and it's just fascinating. So I started with this definition of seasons. Seasons refer to particular weather patterns resulting from the Earth's changing position with regard to the sun. We all know that in winter there isn't a whole lot of sunshine. So when you're experiencing winter, you whenever the sun comes out, you're like, oh my goodness, it's such a beautiful day today, because it is the expectation during winter that it's cold, it's uncomfortable, and it's not sunny. Sometimes in our marriage relationship, we get into that season and it's like everything is dry, everything is frigid, from intimacy to communication to every other area in your marriage. You just experience a time of everybody just keeps to themselves. In winter, you it's such a beautiful weather. I have grown to like winter. Not that I particularly like it, but I have learned that for you not to be miserable in winter, you need to adjust. For somebody who grew up in the tropics, where the weather is warm, you could wear your shorts, you could wear your sleeveless and all that. But winter does not give you that opportunity to dress anyhow. Winter forces you to dress in a particular way. So there is no way, it doesn't matter how brave you are. If you go out in your sandals, you'll be frostbitten. If you go out without your jacket, it could result in you almost freezing to death, hypothermia. And it does not matter how brave you are, you cannot fight winter. What you do is that you prepare for it, you adjust to it, you layer up, you wear the necessary clothing that will make you warm. That is exactly how it is in some seasons in our marriage. You don't experience winter when you're newly married. If you have just been married for a month or two, you can't say you're experiencing winter. Winter comes when there is a changing in pattern. That is, there's an adjustment. And that adjustment comes over time. So if you have been married for 10, 15, 20 years, you're likely to speak of winter. Because at such times you are used to your partner is used to you, and you have differences at such times. And if you do not manage those differences, there is a likelihood that things may break. Winter is such a harsh weather that even your skin, if you do not lubricate and apply cream and lotion on your body, your skin will almost break. It will be so dry and scaly. These are just things that point to the fact that winter is a harsh season. And I need to tell you that as harsh as it is, it has its own benefit. That's another thing. Every season has its own benefit. A lot of people would say, oh, I don't like winter. Yeah, that's true. But if we do not have winter, we will all be sick. As as you all know, seasons come and it's a cycle. So winter comes and it's the longest of all the months. So winter starts in December, January, February, and then by March it's wrapping up. We don't talk about spring until April. So I would say about 5 months, as a matter of fact. So winter lingers, and the effect is seen everywhere. What winter does is that it destroys all the microorganisms that can make people sick. So that's why, and people don't fight it. You actually create activities around it. People who own this environment, they create activities around winter. There are winter activities. You go for tobogganing, you go for snowshoeing, you go for activities like that, so that you keep yourself busy, even though the weather is not too friendly. If you are experiencing winter in your marriage, what you need to do is to try and dress up so that there can be warmth. The Bible says two are better than one. Why is two better than one? Because even when it gets cold, they keep themselves company. Have you stopped talking in your marriage relationship? Maybe you tell yourself there's nothing to talk about. It's time to start finding the logs in the fireplace so that there can be heat. When there is heat, there is warmth. When there is warmth, you can tell you automatically, you see that there is freedom. The atmosphere is improves. And I want you to know that it does not matter how bad things have been in your relationship. The theme and the main word that God has given me over the years is that with God, all things are possible. If your differences is not that you are in an abusive, if the problem with the relationship is not that it's an abusive relationship, if it is not because there's domestic violence, if it's just interpersonal differences, then we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to go back and revisit. Over time, you need to get to know your partner. You need to get to know your wife better, know your husband better, and then begin to figure out what is their love language. What language do I speak to communicate to this person? What language do I speak to get across to this person? One of the questions that I got asked at the meeting on Saturday is that if there are two wonderful people, great people, but they just speak two different love languages, and they are finding it difficult to communicate, what should they do? If your husband speaks a different love language, maybe he likes to give gift, and what you like is attention, you like company, sit down. Somebody has to be the one to bail the cat. My husband doesn't speak my love language. What do? I pay attention to his love language. I speak his love language. When he's in that zone, when he's enjoying me speaking his love language, I tell him, this is how I like you to come alongside to love me. So a woman will say, every woman, maybe I should chip this in. Every woman speaks the love language of gift. Every woman loves gift. But not only that, you just come and say, okay, here's a gift, here's a phone. I don't have time. But you know what? Every woman also loves the language of attention. Every woman likes it when their husbands spend time with them. Every woman likes it when their husbands checks up on them. How are you? How was your day? How are you doing? Sometimes, some women will be cooking. You know it's your responsibility to cook, but you just enjoy when your husband says, "Ah, my dear, this stew is second to none. This meal is beautiful. It's perfect. Oh my goodness, it's like a 3-star hotel meal." If your wife likes things like that, learn it. Affirmation. Affirm what they do. When they make effort to do things, to clean the house, to take care of the children, and when they say it around you, maybe they want you to repeat it. There's a woman, when she's walking, when she's entertained, you said, you know what? You are doing very well. She mentioned her own name. So and so, you are doing very well. That's a cue to her husband to say she needs to be validated. She needs to hear that you are doing a good job. And that's going to be the size of it today. It was just supposed to be a quick nugget, like a 10-minute nugget for those who weren't at our couples clinic. We also had our guest minister. They were powerful. They really they really were real and authentic. So a lot of people were able to relate to what they were talking about, men especially, that you have your flaws, you have your limitations too, and it's okay for your wife to know it, and it's okay to open up about it. It is not a crime as a man to show emotions. It is not a crime as a man to show that, okay, I have my weaknesses. When you're feeling weak, you better quickly relate that to your wife, and she can come alongside to help you. Every woman wants a man that she can look up to. So that is why it doesn't matter how strong a woman is, it doesn't matter how powerful a woman is at work. When she gets home, she wants to look up at her to look up to her husband for guidance, for direction. And when you understand this, it is not it you're not when you're when you're submitting to your husband. Somebody will say, I've been married for 15 years and they're still talking about this issue of submission. We will talk about submission until we see Jesus in glory. So you better learn and get used to this issue of submission. And you need to realize that submission does not connote weakness. Submission talks about putting your strength under control. Submission is an attribute of a Christian woman and of a man, because the Bible says we should submit one to another. Having said that, I pray that no matter how little you have heard tonight, it will help you in positively making a difference in your marriage relationship. Hopefully next week we will look at the other seasons. God bless you. So remember, in winter, you dress up. You dress up. If there are loopholes, there are inadequacies in your marriage relationship, you know, patch those places up. Not patch to just make believe, but make them work. Cover yourselves, cover your nakedness, cover when you dress down. But you're likely to catch a cold, but when you dress up, you'll be warm and you'll be comfortable. The Lord bless you. Bye now.